What's good, y'all? We back at it, man. 2 week hiatus for us. Not the way we planned it. I know this has happened before, but as you can kind of see, look around. It's a different setup.
Yes,
We all got mics now, and we're running on a different camera. It's a secret, but yeah, we're we're running on all different platforms now, man. We're on our own wave now, and we're gonna be pushing out content. So be with us on socials and all of that, man. But man, we missed a lot of content out there, but we're hopping right into the week 4, man. Week 4 was nuts. So many comebacks this week, but we'll start off with the Thursday night game. The Lions beat the Packers 34-20. I just think the Lions kind of controlled this game. Packers had a lot of injuries on that offensive line. So they really struggled to create time for J-Lo. I felt bad for him, man. I mean, I know there's a lot of talks. We were kind of all texting in the group chat about how he was like holding the ball too long, but it's a tough spot to be in when your offensive line is just absolutely getting demolished. But they kind of surged like we saw the week before, and they came back, got the ball rolling in the second half, and the Lions could just run all over them for the rest of the game, though, and kind of control the clock and do what they wanted. So,
Yeah, I think the biggest factor in this game was just the Lions dominated both sides
yeah.
of the line, and I mean this Lions team is legit. I had my doubts coming into the season, but to go into Lambeau and beat the Packers, like the team that you can never get over beforehand, and I know it's a different quarterback, but I mean that just shows that this Lions team is a lot different than years prior.
For me, it was kind of a turning point in this division. To go in there and win like they did last year is a big thing for the Lions. I think it was a prove-it game when it came to Jordan Love, because the Lions come to town, divisional game in prime time at home, and I know the line didn't help him, but he made some questionable decisions. So for me, it kind of shows that the Lions are just like one step ahead of the Packers as of right now in that division.
Yeah, you guys said basically everything I was going to talk about. One thing I would say about the Lions is, I guess it's more of a fantasy standpoint, but David Montgomery coming back off an injury, over 30 rushes for 3 touchdowns. I thought that was pretty absurd. I think a lot of the people that day were kind of betting on Jahmyr Gibbs to at least get a lot more of a snap count, but I don't know. It kind of just feels like the Lions know what they want in their offense. I mean, it's proven. Jared Goff's nice. David Montgomery's just stepping up to where Jamal Williams was last year, just with all them goal line and just heavy workload, getting them touchdowns. So I like the team, but I would like the Lions to use Jahmyr Gibbs a little bit more. I mean, he spent a whole first-round pick on him for a reason.
For sure.
Yeah, and only get 8 carries compared to Montgomery's 32. That's
I mean, he was averaging like over 6 yards a carry too.
like 20% of the load for a first rounder.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like, yeah, you kind of, especially heading into we're a quarter into the season now. You know, you want to see a little bit more usage out of your first rounder.
No,
but
I agree.
I mean, with how the Lions are playing right now, I mean, can you really question how much they're doing?
No. All right, take the next one, Kai.
Next game we got here is the Ravens and Browns. Not much to take away from this game, to be honest. Obviously, Deshaun Watson didn't play due to a sore shoulder, which I'm kind of glad that they did sit him for at least this game. DTR obviously come in and didn't look the greatest. I just think that's a lot of he's a 5th-round rookie. I mean, I definitely hyped him up in preseason, but when you're actually in those full games against grown men and like superstars, I mean, it's a lot harder playing in like a preseason compared to a regular season game. So I understand there's not much I can take away for the Browns. For the Ravens, though, I mean, they're playing what I argue the best defense, and they put 28 up. So, like I said, not much to really talk about besides let's just hope for a bounce back for our Browns, and the Ravens look nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree, man. I've been sleeping on the Ravens a little bit. I mean, I said the Browns were going to run away with this division. I should have chilled on the word run away a little bit. Lamar's been playing like an MVP, just flat out. This offense, where it's at this now new balanced attack, is just really making it to where those receivers that didn't seem as good heading into the year like they always don't. They're all kind of flourishing in the same way that the Lions kind of do.
Mhm.
So, man, the Ravens, man, through all the injuries, and they got a couple guys back this week, but they're a team to beat now as well. So,
I think, I mean, to overcome the injuries, that's just a courtesy of your quarterback play and your head coach. And you can't question either one of those things with the Ravens, so they'll always be in contention as long as those two are established. But I think a big takeaway from this game is just the Browns' defense is still really good. I know that 28 points was scored, but when your quarterback is giving your defense terrible field positioning, I mean, it's only a matter of time before a team's going to score on you. But yeah, I mean, a rookie quarterback against Ravens, Patriots, those type of teams, I mean, it's hard to ever bet on them. And as you can see by the stat line, 3 interceptions, 1 fumble, and average 3.7 yards per pass attempt. So, I mean, just a all-around ugly game.
yeah.
Not much I can say here. Like Nate said, when you take away the field position, it kind of comes down to that defense is just put in bad positions at the end of the day, so they're not going to look the greatest. But I still like the Browns to win this division, even being down a game.
Yeah.
One thing I will say about Lamar, though, really quick, is I think he has, at least for his completion rating, I think he's the second in the league right now. I think right behind Josh Allen, and it's pretty close. So that's pretty impressive because Lamar, everyone's always saying, oh, he's a running back. I mean, being able to make those throws at that high of a level is pretty solid. So he definitely is on pace for an MVP season if he keeps it up.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. The Vikings, man. Go in there, man. We beat the Panthers 21-13. I'm not sticking my chest out at all. At all, man. This game started off with a 99-yard pick six, and I'm yelling, tank for Shador Sanders, man. That's what I was yelling. Shoot, we're playing absolute bottom 3 offense in the league. I mean, they have no weapons, man. I was high on the Panthers heading into the year. I kind of backed up when all the words out of training camp came out. But the fact of the matter is they can't even establish a run against us. And we seen what Philly did to us. Man, I'm just glad to see JJ dominate on only 6 receptions. That was beautiful. I know Addison didn't get no looks this week. I know that hurt you against me in fantasy this week. But the offense got clicking a little bit there at the end. But only scoring 21 on this Panthers team, I'm not satisfied. Heading into next week, we'll talk about it later, but we got a big game coming up. It's a must-win. So we'll see, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have too much to take away from this game other than just, like, the first half in the game, Bryce Young looked very comfortable because it looked like the Vikings just weren't blitzing him a whole lot.
No.
And then when it came to the second half, I mean, they started sending those blitzes after him, and he just looked shook. Which I mean, that's to expect out of a rookie quarterback. I don't really see too many rookie quarterbacks good against pressure, but yeah, I just think that this Panthers team. I mean, I understand selling out to go get your quarterback, but when you do that, you leave him with no talent. It's Adam Thielen, and that's about it.
Yeah,
And
but
if Adam Thielen's your one,
to kind of push back a little bit, like I'm not going to push back too much, but coming into the year, we didn't think C.J. Stroud had any weapons.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I don't think any of us thought, like we talked about Tank Dell a little bit, but man, what he's doing with what we thought was not much at all is just nuts. So
Yeah, without the rookies,
they kind of
yeah.
missed, man. I mean, it's too early to say it, but man, Stroud's looking great right now. So that's all I want to say, man. It's just props to him, man, because there's a night and day difference right now.
One thing I'll say about this game real quick, I don't have much to take away. Besides really Jetta's situation with the Vikings here. He's been looking frustrated. He had a great game, don't get me wrong. But it's like I think Kirk's still a really good quarterback and a franchise quarterback. But I don't know. I'm kind of in the question, like, what would you do as a Vikings player if you were like the GM?
Man, I think I mean, we see it with a lot of different receivers, and I don't want to call any of them out. I guess I interview JJ one day. They're divas, man. If they did like they always think they're open, and they don't realize they're not the ones sitting back there moving out blitzes and looking guys off and doing all these different things. Like, it's hard to play quarterback, man. It's not as easy as I know what route I'm running. Maybe it's a choice route. I get one decision to make. These quarterbacks are making so many decisions, and he just gets frustrated easy. I would have liked us to see him sign him early on instead of signing Hawkinson to this huge deal. So I'm not sure exactly what went on, but I don't think he's going to leave this money on the table, man. I think we'll sign him next year, and he'll be all right. So.
Yeah, I'd seen Davenport wake up a little bit during this game. Was this his first start?
He finally played, yeah.
I did see him get a sack in that game.
Yeah, he did.
He looked half decent, but
yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I'm not downsiding Bryce Young by any means. I think it's still a little bit too early. I'll give it a couple more weeks, but from basing off what I've seen from these other rookie quarterbacks, I've been putting him around almost I don't want to discredit him too much, but I'm putting him probably around the 3 or 4 range out of the quarterbacks this class so far.
Yeah.
Just based off early performance.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie though. You've been on his downfall since the beginning of the season.
Not saying I didn't speak at the light though.
He's not hurt yet. Tragic.
He did not play last game, though.
Yeah, that's funny.
And they won.
He didn't play last game.
And they won.
No, they didn't.
Oh.
They almost won.
And they look better.
I'll take this next game. We got the Falcons losing to the Jaguars 7-23 in London. Fish and chips, boy. I woke up early to watch this game because I got Lawrence on my fantasy team. Big takeaway from this game was the fact that Desmond Ridder is complete dog water. He's 19 for 31, 191 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions, which those interceptions, one was a pick six, kind of being the deciding factor in this game. We've talked about it before with the Falcons. Once they kind of go down and you have to rely on Ridder and you just can't, dink and dive. Is that the terminology? And that's all he can do. It's easy to stop that. So Josh Allen having a big game. 2 Josh Allens having a big game this week.
Yeah. Sum up this game in one sentence. Well, sum up this Falcons offense in one sentence. Jonnu Smith had more yards than Kyle Pitts. This is the second time it's happened this season.
Yeah, that's all that needs to be said.
That's nuts, man.
And Nate said there's something to be said. He's on my fantasy team.
Yeah, that's just nuts. So, yeah, man, I'm just hoping to see this team lose a couple more games. Whether that pick turns into one of these, this quarterback draft looks awesome. Whether it's taking a quarterback or getting a guy like Kyler Murray, man, I'm happy to see a new look Falcons offense next year, hopefully.
I even seen some reports today for the Falcons. This is just obviously hypothetical, but I seen a report about, because the Bears have the first 2 picks in the NFL draft currently, the 1 and the 2.
Yep.
And there's, like you said, it's a deep quarterback class with arguably one of the best prospects we've seen in a second. I've seen reports about Justin Fields possibly being in trade rumors with the Falcons this upcoming year. And if you really think about it, it's almost like that Kyler Murray situation as well. Like, you could see both those quarterbacks really flourish in this Falcons systems. I really do.
But, yeah.
I mean, I know it's coming down to the throwing struggles with Justin Fields, but, I mean, you put that type of running ability on that Falcons and you have them as a quarterback. If Justin Fields can figure out how to throw the ball, which, one thing, he does love tight ends, so Kyle Pitts, I'm guaranteed he'll get the ball. I'm just saying I could actually see the Falcons really becoming really good. But that's just obviously hypothetical. I just seen it.
Yeah. That definitely better be second on their mind is getting Fields.
You take Kyler Murray over Justin?
Oh, for sure.
Justin Fields is a Georgia boy, too.
Yeah.
He did play at Georgia. I don't know if you guys knew that.
He did before Ohio.
But, yeah, the one last takeaway I had is Jags, man, they're still not impressing me, man.
Yeah,
I'm not impressed either.
The red zone, man. They struggle in the red zone. And contenders don't. True contenders don't. And we all thought that they were kind of contender heading into the year, so just not impressed. So.
Yeah, I don't really have too much to add on. I mean, this Falcons offense just got dominated the entire game. Their one touchdown was to Drake London. Haha. But, I mean, outside of that, it's I've been preaching this since the beginning of the podcast. When you're a team that relies on running the ball first, and when your quarterback has, I mean, all the weapons are in place. You can look at the roster.
Yeah.
This is a very talented and young roster, but when you have a quarterback that just can't stretch the field, I mean, you're just asking to lose games.
Mm-hmm. Why don't you take the next one, they dope?
I got you. So the next game, we got the Bills beat the Dolphins, 48-20. Yeah, I don't think any of us expected this. I think all of us kind of coming into this game, we thought this was going to be game of the week.
Mhm.
But that really was not the case. Stephon Diggs,
He's him.
he's him. He really is. He really is. I think it was like it was some type of hook or hitch or just like a real 5-10 yard route, and he just took that to the crib. That was like one of the coolest plays I've seen in a while.
Mhm.
In this game, Tre'Davious White ended up tearing his ACL, so that's a big loss.
Mm-hmm.
That's arguably your best DB, and
Yeah.
to lose him only a quarter into the season, like he's out for the rest of the season more than likely. I mean, yeah, there's no shot he comes back. But I think the big takeaway from this game was just the Bills did a really good job of limiting the Dolphins' offense.
Yeah.
When you have a elite offense like that, like the Bills do, and your defense can get stops, like you're gonna beat any team in the league. They had 4 sacks. Tua, he should have threw a pick 6. And then they were just pressing Tyreek all game and then covering everybody else really well. And I mean, when Tua has to hold on to the ball, he's going to end up taking 4 sacks like he did.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll say my real quick takeaways from this game is Josh Allen's elite. I know he had a little rough start to the beginning of the season, not too bad, but just wasn't what we were expecting, and he's coming out like MVP level right now. The way he's throwing this ball, his completion rate's the highest in the league. The Bills are they're really a hard team. One thing about the Dolphins, they definitely got their offense limited, but they all were missing a couple pieces like Jalen Waddle. I think is really huge when it comes to their passing game, just because that does limit Tyreek a lot when he's not on the field, because they're two very explosive players, and I kind of feel like that's what the Dolphins' offense is just explosiveness. One takeaway real quick though is like the Dolphins rookie running back A-Chain. I mean, this is another week where he came out very explosive, almost looking like he's going to be coming the running back 1 here soon.
Well, Mostert had 2 fumbles.
I did see that as well. Yeah, so like Mostert hasn't been playing bad, but comes a point when you have like this rookie on your bench while his legs are fresh. Like I think he only carried the ball 8 times and took it 100 yards and caught a passing touchdown. I mean, this is 2 weeks in a row that he's looked extremely explosive when the ball's in his hands. So
And you don't lose the speed at all.
yeah,
They run basically the same 40 times.
yeah,
Charles
exactly.
Johnson. That's what he reminds me of.
He's fast and he can read. He has really good ball vision. So like I'm excited to watch his Dolphins offense. Like they're really like the team that's like a Madden cheat code just because it's all speed.
Yeah.
They're just so explosive. I think they'll bounce back next week once they get Jalen Waddle back.
Yeah, I don't got much to say, man, but I'm feeling good. I'm sure James is as well. As the only people taking the Bills this week, man. That pass rush, man, it's a lot dangerous than any of us expected without Von Miller. So, yeah, the defense is a lot better than I was thinking, and it's still a good game, man. I mean, just fun teams to watch.
It was crazy because, like, coming into this game, they dropped 70 points, and then for a minute, like, into the first quarter, it looked like they're about to give up 70 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
they give up 48.
That's a perfect transition to this next game, man. The Broncos beat the Bears 31.
Let me take this one, man.
Go ahead, man.
So like I called the Bears this week, and I was so hyped. What was the score? 28-7. I remember checking it, and I was like, bro, I'm about to feel really good talking about this on the podcast. Justin Fields looked really good this game.
He did.
I mean,
He
he did come out
Really
and
good.
he played very well. I just need to see this on a week-to-week basis when it comes to Justin Fields, because he, like I said, we all know he has the tools, but I think he's in like a little mental fight, which is like the hardest thing to get through as a quarterback. When you have not only your whole team on your back, you have all the fans, your whole franchise is based off of you. So it's hard when you're just hearing constant negative things. So I was excited to see him come back, but man, he did have 1 fumble, but you can't really blame him. His left tackle let the guy get behind him and got blindsided. I mean, it's hard. Bears defense is up there with being garbage, though. I will say that. I mean, you put up 28. They have 7 points. There should be no reason in the world that team should come back. And it looked like the whole second half, the Broncos just, like Russell came alive. They were just eating the Bears, man. So I don't know. We'll have to see. But Bears, I know. The Bears fans were in shambles this week for sure.
Yeah, but that was this game, man. Is 2 quarterbacks putting up good stats, just battling it out against 2 horrible defenses, man. I mean, both these
Definitely a
defenses
fun game.
are bad, man. They're bad. So, I mean, Fields did have a good game, man, but he just couldn't help himself. Throws a game-losing pick at the end of the game. It's just, man, what a poop factor. But, man, it was entertaining.
Definitely was.
This is the first comeback that we had to talk about, so
Yeah.
craziness.
So I found a little stat earlier today, and this is actually so mind-boggling. The Broncos are historically bad on defense. The last 2 weeks, they have a lot of quarterbacks to go 16 for 16 each game. And then overall, it's been 32 for 32, 437 yards, and 5 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. And I believe that's all in the first half. That is terrible. You
Damn, I didn't know that.
cannot.
They
I
haven't
mean,
made
like,
one-
I know that they have injuries, but there's a certain point where, like, I understand the players are trying, but like the coaching really needs to be like questioned, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
Vance
but-
Joseph, terrible.
'Cause that's just historically bad. And then Fields played really good outside of just 2 crucial mistakes, and that was that fumble, and then like you said, the interception at the end of the game. I don't know if that was just like a miscommunication or what, but I mean, you have a chance to go down and win the game and can't do it. So
I mean, yeah, I agree. But to be fair, he shouldn't even been in that position to where he had to.
no,
do
I
that.
agree. That's
No,
fair.
for
I mean,
sure.
So
that's
he kind
fair.
of had like a
But
forced throw, which
Yeah.
obviously, like, you're making Justin Fields force a throw. It's not a very good outcome when that's your last line of defense. So I don't know.
But-
Both bad teams. Great game to watch. Let's hope for Justin Fields to be better next week. I mean, keep this up for next week, actually.
Yeah.
yeah, we shall see.
I'll take this next one. We got the Texans beating the Steelers 30-6. This game started out, and I was just like, whew, man, the Texans are on it right out the gate. I mean, their defense alone, because I know you guys probably want to talk about Stroud, but I'm going to give their defense a lot of credit because they were making some plays, man. Some interceptions, some crazy catches I was seeing on some interceptions, and D'Amico Ryans just – it's great having him as a head coach because with a young, talented roster, he's going to get his boys fired up to play every week, and we definitely saw that with the Steelers. We know that their offense is terrible, but Najee, it's just not it. Put Jalen Warren.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. My biggest takeaway is, man, them Steelers, man. I think Matt Canada's the most to blame here, but it's just not a good mix with Pickett either. The biggest thing that I took away is multiple times this game on 3rd down, it would be 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, and it's one of 2 plays that are happening. You're either trying to stuff it up there with Najee Harris and you have a horrible offensive line, or you're running this slow run play-action play that Pickett continues to show I can't read. Like, you got to just throw shotgun, like throw a little dink. I mean, it's frustrating, man. It would be frustrating to be a Steelers fan, but they kind of deserve it.
Yeah,
They kind of deserve what they're getting right now.
Yeah, I
And
think
that's a piss-poor offense with a great defense.
Yeah, I think that they have all the talent in the world on offense, especially too.
Yeah.
And it really just comes down to quarterback play. I mean, the coaching and, like you said, the defense is all there. But they get, absolutely blown out by a young Texans team. Like, I understand why Steelers fans are starting to question a lot. It puts a real big smile on my face, but, it sucks. But, yeah, let's hop into C.J. Stroud.
I would talk about
Offensive Rookie of the Year?
I think so.
Oh, right now?
Right now, for sure. I want to talk crap about the Steelers real quick because they fractured my season a little bit, but we're coming back. The Steelers' offense is just so bad. Like, it's just so bad. It's not even fun to watch. It's kind of, like, scary to watch, and I'm so happy watching it, though. I'm sitting back on my screen.
It's like watching the Giants.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
No,
sad,
it brings
Jimmy.
me pain because I know how it's different, you know.
It's a little bit different. It's
We hate
just
the
funny because
Steelers.
we hate the Steelers. Yeah. We feel bad for the Giants.
I don't hate the Steelers.
I hate the Steelers. So, I don't know. Their offense looks horrible. I will say that Steelers' defense still is pretty good, but when your offense isn't doing anything, it's really deflating for a defense. Like, why are we even out here? We're just going to get steamrolled anyway. The flip in, though, Texans are one of the funnest teams to watch so far this year. I mean, see, like, we all know what C.J. Stroud's been doing. He's been lighting it up these last couple weeks with this young roster. Nico Collins looks great. Tank Dell still up there as like one of the best rookie receivers right now. So I don't know. I really like this Texans team, and man, I mean, I know they don't have a first pick this year, but I mean, actually, I think they have the Browns still, but they just look really, really good. I love watching this team, especially with Ohio State running the QB. So it's cool.
Yeah, Nico Collins definitely had a breakout game.
He's been playing good.
7 receptions, 168 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's welcome to the NFL. That's I mean, like, Tank Dell wasn't really used a whole lot this game, but I mean, when you can get elite production out of another young wide receiver, like, that's all you're ever asking, especially when you don't really have to pay your quarterback a whole lot. The Texans have a real good foundation to build on. And then, I mean, just to touch on the Steelers real quick one more time, I'm ready to trade Najee Harris off my fantasy team, just the way that they've been using him.
He's just not good. He doesn't have explosiveness.
And I mean, just like the
Bro, did
offense
you
that you're
see-
in as well.
Did you see what NFL memes IG posted?
No.
They said Najee Harris runs like he's running in jeans.
He does.
That's how he be running.
Like, he was so hyped out of college, but, like, even, like, I know his year one for the Steelers, he was actually really, really good, but, like, it just doesn't look like the same running back. Like, he's not, like, for running back tools, if you're not, like, the fastest guy or don't have a ton of speed, you got to have, like, elusiveness. He just doesn't have it either.
He just runs north and south.
Yeah, north,
Like,
south.
He can't. He has no change of direction at
No,
all.
they don't.
At all.
Batting rating.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. I'll take the next one. A comeback, man. Another one on the week, man.
Yeah.
Rams and Colts. Rams win 25-23. Man, this game was nuts. But to me, this reminded me of an old school. No, I can't really say it's old school because it's not that long ago. But a Tony Romo game from Stafford. Dude was getting absolutely lit up. Was limping all over the place. Still pulled out the dub. It reminded me of when like Romo would break his ribs and finish the game. Dude's just a baller. I feel bad for him. If we had one last week, you would have heard this. But Stafford this year has, it's not a real stat, but it's a Dom stat. 4 or 5 of them balls I feel like have been tip balls that have been picked off for him. So it's tough, man. I think his production's a lot better than what it looks. Yeah, man, he's right up there with my boy Kirko. So, yeah. But Richardson, shoot, man, he turned it around. The offense wasn't getting anything going, but continues to just find a way and come back. I just want to see Jonathan Taylor play. We saw that he's practicing. I mean, I have him in 2 fantasy leagues, but that's not the only reason. I just want to see him shoot up because this division is just so wide open in my
It
eyes.
really
and
is, yeah.
I'd just like to see these mediocre teams battle it out. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jonathan Taylor, he's a fun player to watch as well. You know, my 2 biggest takeaways from this game is Puka Nacua, most receptions in NFL history through first 4 games. That's insane. If he keeps this pace up, I mean, I know that the awards at the end of the year are usually given to quarterbacks, but I mean, he's dang near right there with Stroud in that conversation right now. And then Aaron Donald finally really showing up in this game. He had 8 pressures and a sack. I don't know what his tackles for loss were, but I mean, you know, that's what you expect out of your best player.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, just Anthony Richardson to be able to lead a comeback like that. I mean, the Rams had no business. Once again, this is another situation when the Rams had no business allowing that. But I mean, when you see that type of fight out of a rookie quarterback, like, it just goes to show that you're in good hands. You know, you could put a lot of faith into them. So yeah, I mean, yeah, the Colts, like you said, if the Colts get JT back, they might go on a little run.
I agree. I mean, this Colts team's fun to watch. Anthony Richardson reminds me so much of Cam Newton. Like, not so much, but like he has a lot of Cam Newton traits in him. I mean, he's just such a fun young quarterback to watch. Just his running game ability is like it's up there, man. Just like Cam's was. Yeah, I think with JT back, this Colts offense actually might. I don't say they're going to be elite, but I think that would be really good backfield at least to start with. But we'll see what happens in that situation moving forward. For this Rams, though, I mean, for just having such a young team, like I think Matthew Stafford and that Kirk Cousins comparison is so good, man, because they're both literally just like field leaders. Like they just know how to lead a team. Even with all the hits that they do take, like they fight, man. I even watched a clip I think a couple of days ago with I think it was when Matthew Stafford was in Detroit, yeah, and he was hurt, and they had the backup quarterback in, and I remember he was like damn near concussion, and he's like, no, I'm coming back in. Couldn't move his left shoulder, just comes in, hikes it, and throws it touchdown to just tie the game.
Yeah.
I was like, he just fights, man, and like I know he's getting up there in age, but just playing with this young team and making them look way better than I think they are is just impressive. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
So getting Cooper Kupp back, I think Nakua's role would drop a little bit, but I mean, even having him as a rookie putting up those type of numbers, being mentored by Kupp, and he even said it himself that Kupp's been his mentor. It's just, it's fun to watch because he's trying to resemble Kupp a lot. So I'm excited to watch this Rams team. They're always fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just can't wait till Cooper Kupp comes back from a fantasy team, and then everyone can shut up about Puka Nacua. I mean, I like the guy. I mean, I've watched a lot of videos on him, and it's an inspirational story, but I'm ready for the White King to take his throne back.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be – white boys are back.
White boys are back.
You can't lie, though. Tell me that Nakua doesn't look majestic. Like
Oh,
his
he does,
Hawaiian, his
dude.
hair, like
I mean, they play very similar,
They
so
do.
I'm curious on how Stafford's going to kind of distribute the ball. But I think we see like Tutu Atwell kind of take a step back, and Kupp fills that role, and I'm excited. I'm excited to get him back.
their offense might be. Even Kyron kind of giving me like McCaffrey vibes. It's obviously not McCaffrey, but just that receiving ability with him too.
Yeah.
I know he does give some tip balls, which I've seen interceptions come off of that, but their offense might be like damn near elite once Cooper Kupp's come back. I mean, you're already having a problem getting this Nakua kid, a rookie, just no one expected, guarded. Now imagine you put two of them side by side open in the field. Like, it's going to be hard to guard all of them, but...
Yeah, I don't think coming into the season we would ever think that they were going to be 2-2.
Dude, I didn't even know who that heck that
2-2.
was, even week one.
It's crazy.
But yeah, I'll take this next game, just because my boy Jameis had a few snaps. The Buccaneers beat the Saints 26-9. With this win, the Bucs take the number one spot in the NFC South. So shout out to the Bucs because, I mean, they're a lot better than I thought they were going to be. Baker had a really good game, 25 for 32, 256 yards, 3 touchdowns and an interception. I mean, like, when Baker really gets into a rhythm, he's a really good quarterback.
He's fun to watch. He's always been
And
fun.
with the weapons that they have, like, as long as he can stay in that rhythm, I think that the Bucs are. I mean, they might run away with the division, especially since the Saints. I mean, you're dragging out an injured Derek Carr. You know, is that something that you really wanted over someone like Jameis Winston? And I know this sounds very biased, but when you have a backup that might not give you the same production, but it's literally like 1A and 1B, maybe a step below, right? But like, I'd rather take a healthy Jameis Winston to go out there and at least, you know, be able to run the offense how it's supposed to be ran versus injured Derek Carr.
Wait, hold on.
And-
If I'm reading this right, Nate,
Yeah.
it says Jameis Winston 0 for 1, 0 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 1 interception.
I mean, he had nothing to play for.
The interception that he threw was funny. He just had no one open. He said, F it, I'm going long. And he just chucks into double coverage. I swear. to
Was
God.
it at the end of the game? 'Cause
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
okay.
a garbage time. It was a garbage
okay.
time interception.
But to kind of, I mean, it is kind of true, though, in one aspect is even with a healthy Derek Carr when they had him early, the Saints have yet to score over 20 points this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yet to score over 20 points this year. And they got some weapons, man. They got Kamara
weapons.
came back this week.
Caught 50 million passes for no yards.
And what's funny is Baker can kind of look back at this and laugh because they're rolling out their quarterback with an injured shoulder, and that's what the Browns are doing half of Baker's time there. So, I mean, it's kind of funny to see, like, hey, this guy can't play with a hurt shoulder either. But, yeah, man, Bucks, man, I've been saying it. James has been saying it. And I think they're going to take this division for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I think Baker's resurgence, like what you guys call week 1, is back. I mean, he's been leading this team, and I've been, like, low-key impressed by Baker's, like just him in general this year. I mean, I didn't have much expectations from him in this system.
Yeah.
Coming out behind a Tom Brady. I mean, that's a big shoes to fill for real. But man, he's fun to watch. Just even the players themselves say they all love Baker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hate him or love him, that kid's a leader and he's always going to be Baker. I mean, like Nate said, when he's in his rhythm, he's a great quarterback and he's fun to watch. There's just those here and there games he has where it's just like, dude, like, what are you doing? But man, if he just keeps on this trend, man, like this Bucks, they're gonna run away with this division for sure.
I mean, and this is like, I don't want to say arguably, but I mean arguably like the best offense he's ever played with.
No, it definitely is.
No,
100%.
it is.
But just real quick, the reason why I feel that way just about their quarterback situation is just like if the Bengals had a backup quarterback that wasn't Jake Browning, I would have rather them play than go through what we're going through with Burrow. So
Right.
I can just relate to that situation a lot, and I just feel like if you have a
Yeah.
healthy, pretty okay backup,
I see what you're saying, and I agree.
don't risk.
It's too early in the season.
starter.
Maybe if it's
Right.
like week 16 or 17 and you're playing for a
Yeah.
playoff spot, it's different.
We're going
But,
into week 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'll take this next one. This one game of the week for me. Eagles beat the Commanders 34-31.
This was a good game.
Came down to Scary Terry just absolutely almost ripping this dude's skin off as he slides out of bounds, and they call it incomplete. From A.J. Brown having a taunting penalty that was bullcrap in my eyes, but almost let Sam Howell make a comeback against this Eagles defense. I mean, what a crazy game, and it just shows, man, anything can happen in division play.
Yeah.
Commanders, man, I mean, I feel like every week Nate just wants to become a Commanders fan almost. I mean, it's just itching them in the back of his brain, I think. But
I bought into Sam Howell.
yeah, who knows? He's such a wild card, man. We said that earlier, but he's just a wild card.
Yeah, I'll touch on this real quick. I just want to start off. Let's all sign the petition to get the Redskins back because Commanders sound dumb. But anyway, just real quick, the Commanders are a fun team to watch, man. I love Sam Howell as a quarterback. I mean, obviously it's his first year starting, but, man, he plays like he's been playing in this league for a couple of years. The way he's leading this team, they all love him. That's what you want for your quarterback. I mean, I'm excited to watch this Commanders. I think they're only going to get better. I did think their defense a little bit was iffy. But they're also young, a young secondary there for the Commanders. They had Emmanuel Forbes guarding AJ Brown, and that's where he got that taunting play. Because for a rookie, you going up against AJ Brown and still talking your crap. I mean, I respect it, even though he got dunked on there at the end.
And on Twitter.
But yeah, like you can't even really clown him, bro. I mean, like that is the hardest thing to do as a rookie. I mean, unless you're like Sauce Gardner, like coming in and playing one of the most elite receivers. I mean, and even putting up a good fight against him. I mean, I had a respect for that. I think Forbes is pretty decent. Other thing, the Eagles are still being the Eagles, but I'm honestly less impressed with the Eagles this year than I was last year. I really am. I mean, I'm seeing it a couple weeks in a row. Like, these Eagles are getting in these really close games that they shouldn't be in. And having Commanders drop 30 on them when you're supposed to proclaim, like, the type of Eagles defense that they say they have, it's just like I'm seeing this week after week where these games are getting way too close. Mm-hmm. Even going back to when they played the Patriots and they almost gave up that game too. So I don't know. It might be time for a conversation to see regarding the Eagles defense, but that's just me. I don't know.
I'll let you give your thoughts.
Yeah, no, you can go ahead.
My only real takeaway from this game is just Ron Rivera. I mean, I don't want to question his coaching at all because he is a really good coach. But I just think when you're in a situation where there's no time left in the game and you score a touchdown and you're down 1 point against a team that has already put 30 points on you, I think you go for 2 to win that game.
I agree.
You're asking to go into overtime with a team that's a lot more talented than you, and like I said, already put up 30 points on you.
Yeah.
I think in that situation, you go for 2. If you get it, you win the game. If you don't get it, you fought the entire game to get yourself in that position. I don't know if that's just like the Madden player in me or not, but like I've just had so many reps where it was that exact same position. And like if a team is better than you, you don't want to go in overtime with them ever.
No, and I agree. I think, was it with you, James, when we were talking
Yeah,
about
when I was watching.
we were like, they got to go for 2
Yeah.
right here. I mean, you
I
just
mean-
drove in the Eagles.
I mean, yeah, and you're playing a divisional game at Philadelphia. I don't think you want to go into overtime, and you obviously saw what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But why the momentum's on your side? I mean, it's like, all right,
2 more
boys,
yards
let's
wins you the
go
game.
freaking win this game right
Mhm.
now.
Yeah.
That should be the mindset going into that huddle.
Because I was watching just like then the game with my dad, and I was waiting for that game to be over. So I believe it was the Dallas and the Patriots that came on next, and like they just literally drove down the field, putting themselves in position to win the game, like a position that they arguably probably shouldn't have even been in.
Mm-hmm.
You go for 2.
Yeah, I mean, they came down, and it was a really good ending to watch that game, having Sam Howell drive, and then that last throw, the Dodson, I was hyped. And I remember sitting with James, I was like, they got to go for 2 right here. I mean, you're playing the Eagles, and then, I mean, they could take the extra point, and then you see what the Eagles did. They're going to close it out. But, like, when you're playing that elite of a team, like, it'd be different if you're playing, like, the Cardinals or something like, yeah, we'll take another run with them. But you're playing, like, the Eagles, we're in the Super Bowl last year. You go for 2 every time against that team for sure.
Go ahead, Nate.
Oh, boys.
Take it away.
Deja vu from week 1. Titans beat the Bengals 27-3. I have a lot to say, but I'm going to keep it sweet and short for the people because we don't need a whole lot of negativity on this podcast. So the first drive of the game, I was on my way to my parents' house so I can watch the game with my dad, and so I'm on the highway watching the game, and the game starts. We get the ball, which we're the only team in the NFL that wins the toss and asks for the ball first. It boggles my mind every single time that we do it. But we put together a really good drive to begin the game. We get inside the 10. We get into the 3rd down, and we run the ball. It gets us down to the 2-yard line, and I'm thinking to myself, 4th down. That was like a really good run. It puts you in like perfect position to go for it on 4th down. And then Zach Taylor sends out the special teams. At that moment, I wanted to turn around and not even go watch the game at all. But the Bengals run game, I mean, it works every single week, and we just go away from it. And with Burrow's injury right now, like, I just do not understand why we don't lean on it a little bit more. And like Jamar Chase after this game was frustrated. You know, we still have no vertical passing attack. Everything's just screens and short passes, and that works with the playmakers that we have, but it only works to a certain extent. You know,
It's been week 4 of the same thing.
when teams don't respect, you know, you being able to stretch the field, they're gonna play the run and they're gonna play those short passes every single time. And then last thing I'll touch on is just like Derrick Henry he came back to his form. That's Derrick Henry that we all know.
Yeah.
Out here throwing touchdown passes and everything. I knew the game was over right when that happened. So
Yeah.
It kind of makes me laugh thinking of how like Nate getting all jiggity and excited and driving over to his mom's house, and they're
like we're
whole
gonna win this game.
This whole family sitting down in the living
Such a
room
winnable
wearing their
game.
Bengals gear, and you know,
Yeah.
and then they just gotta watch Derrick Henry throw more passing touchdowns than Joe Burrow. That's
Oh,
just
Yeah,
disgusting.
oh, sorry, Nate. I'm here with you.
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
here with you.
I'm here for support.
we all
man.
rally with the Bengals. We don't hate each
The
other.
one thing I'll say before everyone else gives their thoughts is, regardless of how you feel about Burrow's injury, he gives us an injured Burrow gives us a better chance than any other backup we have on our roster, and that's why I think it's important to have a good backup.
No, it is.
And we just don't. So
Having a good backup's like almost
It's
like
tough.
it's coming to life way more nowadays than
Yeah,
it was.
like I keep hearing the name AJ McCarron, and like look up his XFL stats, bro. His XFL stats weren't even good.
Yeah,
I swear.
I mean, like
And the
take,
last
like-
time he played a meaningful game was maybe 2016.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe 2016.
Well, like-
I'd say Alabama. No, I'm just kidding.
For example, like you have like Jake Browning on the bench, that he's not winning you any game. But like for example, like the Colts with Gardner Minshew, a
That's a good
very
backup.
solid backup quarterback. Anthony Richards out, he comes in and leads the team and wins the game. Like that's the
Saints.
type of production you want.
Yeah.
the Saints.
So he's always trying to sneak it in. Any chance he gets.
All right, man. Let me take this next one real quick.
Big Raiders guy.
Chargers beat the Raiders 24-17. But the only thing I'm gonna say is Staley. We meet again, man.
Hashtag my fantasy team.
Dude, this is like a every week thing with me and you, Staley. I mean, I've been calling you out, and you just keep coming. You're just coming. Pause. But what a way to end the game, man. I mean, he goes for it again on 4th and 1, and it's just like, please, let's lose this game. Not only does he go for it on 4th and 1, but he continues to use his quarterback in the run game when his finger almost got torn off. Just the play calling scenarios and all these different things. He's the worst scenario caller in the league. And I mean, shoot, look at the scenario for 1 second. You either punt to a rookie quarterback, and Khalil Mack is sitting at 6 sacks on the game,
Which is absurd.
but instead you decide to go for it. And that was, man, the Chargers are lucky to win this game. And I can't wait to see the Chargers next year with the new coach, because I have no hope for them this year, even though they beat this crappy Raiders team that I was so hyped about.
Yeah, I mean, you said it best. I mean, Staley's really putting their season in jeopardy. Not only with like setting up Herbert for failure, but almost even losing that game. That 4th and 1 play was almost detrimental. If they didn't get that pick at the very end. I mean, the Chargers have all the talent in the world. Like you said, when the guy Khalil Mack dropped 6 sacks in the game, that is like 6 sacks. I think the leading sack person was like
6.
yeah, like 6.5 or something coming into this week. So he dropped that in the game. There shouldn't even been close to this score. And the reason why when Don was talking about Staley and I said my fantasy team is because I'm 0-4 right now. If you guys didn't know, not very good. But I should be 3-1. But I am the Staley to my team, so I can relate to him. My team's probably gonna be looking for a new franchise owner this season. So yeah, I don't see any hope for the Chargers as long as Staley's running that trophy. So we'll have to see what happens.
When I was watching this game, I remember it was I think halftime, and then the Chargers were up 24-7, and I looked at Kyler and I was like, wow. I was like, I don't remember the last time I saw the Chargers have this big of a lead. And I was like, their defense is playing good, their offense is playing good, and it looks like it's finally coming together.
What did happen?
Nah. But you know they'd mess it up. It's
Yeah,
the
man,
Chargers.
I feel
man.
bad for them 3 Chargers fans sitting at home.
They won the stadium,
every
man.
Yeah, that was the Raiders' home game.
week.
Yeah, the only thing I really have to touch on is just Aiden O'Connell.
Mhm.
I mean, for one, that boy looks just like Derek Carr. When you look at him sometimes,
He does.
you're like, is that Derek Carr on the Raiders? But, I mean, that was his first NFL start in, like, a real season game.
He played well.
I mean, he played okay. He held onto the ball too long, and that's why he got sacked 100 times.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a tough role to fill, you know, when that's your first start. But with all the preseason hype that he had, just like DTR,
Mhm.
yeah, the rookies were in for a rude awakening this week.
I think Devontae Adams definitely made him look better than he should have. When Devontae came back that second half, that boy looked so
Hey.
elite, man.
Hey,
He's still
Devontae,
gonna be him,
He's a real one.
regardless.
He literally won me my fantasy matchup just because he came back.
He
in.
put them in position to tie this game. If you remember that one Devontae catch at the end,
Mhm.
that it wasn't even like the greatest ball that kind of threw to me, but it was catchable. But just the way Devontae can just get up there and just moss anybody, like Devontae's going to be Devontae regardless.
Yep.
But I mean, they were in position to win that game, and then I think like the last 3 plays in a row were all Devontae. It was like Devontae catch, crazy catch by Devontae, and then 3rd play in a row. I mean, if he catches these times in a row, we're gonna double. You're gonna double Devontae, and then he ended up throwing a pick because it was a bad throw. But yeah, I don't know. This Raiders team is really questionable, man. I mean, they had a dirty hit on Herbert, which I'm glad they ejected him out of the game because he played on the Chargers the previous year.
Yeah, Jerry
so
Tillery.
I think that was real disrespectful. So I'm glad they kicked him out.
I think the only reason he got kicked out too is because that was so flagrant. That was like
Dude, he was
barely
walking
like
out. It was like it was two
foul
steps, and then he
in
just
NBA.
rocks him. I'm like, you're tripping. But yeah, this Raiders team is just like, I don't know where they're heading in their future direction. It's not even like any offense to them, but like, you have all these like players that are like almost unhappy. Like Devontae's getting unhappy. We all know Josh Jacobs isn't happy. Max Crosby's
It's
still
only a
elite,
matter
but he's
of
gonna
time.
get irritated if they keep losing. So it's just like they're in a kind of like the void of the NFL right now. Like I don't know which way they're going.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to see, man.
I'll take this next game just because I feel like, I mean, even though we don't like the Cowboys, it's nice to see Bill Belichick get absolutely demolished.
Overrated.
I think this game really just came down to Mac. This was Mac Jones' worst game of his career. I mean, on top of that, it was Bill Belichick's worst coaching game of his career as well. But I mean, Mac Jones just the game starts and I believe it was a fumble six or was it a pick six?
I think he had both of those.
Yeah, I see that's why it's
It
all
don't matter.
getting mixed up. But
Yeah.
I just when you're already putting your team in a 14-point deficit, and then with just like the talent that he has around him, like it's not all on Mac Jones's shoulders, but when you just fail to surround your quarterback with talent, I mean this is the result when you go against a way more talented team.
Yeah.
Let me see Zeke's stats. So this was supposed to be Zeke's revenge game, 6 for 16. How do you feel about that?
I didn't say it was gonna be his revenge game.
I didn't say that either. But yeah, coming into the week, there was all these. I got a report on my phone talking about he might play running back 1 this week. Like, oh my gosh.
Like they're trying to hype it up too much.
Yeah.
I'll say my quick takeaways with this game. I'm not gonna touch too much on the Cowboys. I
Not
mean,
too much to say.
the defense played elite. They're just a really solid team. But for the Patriots, I like what you noted here, and that's kind of why I said overrated. I'm
Yeah.
not necessarily calling Bill Belichick overrated, but since the Tom Brady era, he's not been a great coach. And I think, like you said, he's kind of sliding under the radar. A lot of the blame's on Mac Jones, which I think it should be. But where does Bill Belichick? I don't ever hear a word about his coaching coming into this. So I'm not saying he needs to take up the blame, but like at the same time, when you haven't been good since the Tom Brady era, like when
There's
does
a lot of question
the
marks.
clock start heating up at least a little bit? You know what I mean? So I don't know. The Patriots are kind of like the Raiders situation. They're a void. I don't know what direction they're really heading in.
Purgatory.
To me,
Purgatory.
it's not even like they got to be good or anything, but I just feel like it's been sloppy. I feel like they've been one of the sloppiest teams penalty wise and just weird play wise in the past couple of years. I feel
Yeah.
like they've been one of the sloppiest, but yeah.
They did acquire J.C. Jackson back to the
Oh yeah,
so
new news today, which I'm kind of happy for because I felt bad for JC, even though it's a little bit his fault, but not as much because Staley also doesn't know how to run a team. So.
I think I mean regardless of J.C. there still has to be like really good play in J.C. Jackson, so to have him back in that secondary,
at least back in a system he's familiar with.
yeah,
I think he'll at least do a little
I
better.
think their defense is not the problem. I don't understand that they gave up 38 points, but
No, I
that
agree.
was not the defense's fault.
I agree. And Christian Gonzalez is out for the year. I don't know if you guys seen that today too.
Yeah.
Judon got hurt.
They're just an offense away from being a competitive team.
I agree.
Yeah.
Hold on, I want to hear James' thoughts.
I think it was good to see the Cowboys come out and dominate. Well, not like good in my eyes, but I think last week was like brought them down to earth a little bit. Jerry Jones probably rounded them up Jerry Sandusky style. So Kyler, you're gonna have to fact check that in case you don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is. That's why it's just not in my head.
Okay, but yeah, it was good to see the Cowboys come out there and show how dominant their defense actually is. Because coming into this game, a lot of people are like, this could be an upset game. I know last year the Patriots and Cowboys went to OT, one of the best games last year. Thought we might get something like that, but it was the complete opposite. They looked like the defense that we saw the first 2 weeks.
James, I think you should take the next one too, because if I'm being honest, I was on 2K during this game. I think these two beside me were too. So.
I did watch it a little bit. I had it on my phone, but yeah, I was definitely.
Okay. We got the Chiefs beating the Jets 23-20. Came into this game kind of expecting them to slobber fest over Swift and Kelsey. That's exactly what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But
Good marketing.
it was great marketing for the NFL. It was actually I think it was like the second highest game ever watched that wasn't a Super Bowl, or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was the most watched since like Super Bowl 50 or something.
Or yeah, something like that. That's crazy. But anyways, back to
What matters?
what matters. Chiefs came out, red hot, and then Zach Wilson.
The story of this
Zach
game.
Wilson.
Welcome back, baby.
I actually fell asleep in the third quarter of this game. Not gonna lie to you boys, but I fell asleep when the score was 23-20. Kind of got a recap. I think back to what I was saying about the whole Taylor Swift thing. I don't think the NFL wanted the Chiefs to lose this game. I don't think they want.
Glad you said so. I didn't have to.
I'll just come out and say, you know me. I think they didn't want Zach Wilson beating their pretty boy on primetime in New York. It's just, it was crazy, the calls, like that holding call we saw. That guy was holding for like 10 seconds. Like, how do you not call that? And then the pass interference on Sauce that would have been a interception.
Which wasn't pass interference.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy because if you're the Jets, you're like, yo, Zach Wilson's kind of finally coming into what we thought he could be. It was a complete game from him, the defense, and that's how you're going to lose that game.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks, man. I feel bad for him. I honestly do.
No, I agree. Everything that you said, James. Some of those calls during this game were completely outrageous. Those are flipping points of the game on some of these calls. Like that interception they had taken away, which was the most BS PI call I've seen in a second. And even that holding, I think that was a big one on Twitter. Guys gripping his shoulder pads for 10 seconds, the whole entire play. Not one referee on that field can see that. So, I don't know. I thought it was wild. I'm going to try to avoid all that talk, but, hey, man, Zach Wilson, what a way for a kid to come back and, after having a rough game, coming back and actually, taking charge of this game. Stats don't lie, at least during this game, but Zach Wilson outperformed Patrick Mahomes, I thought, by a decent amount, at least during this game.
It was the first time ever someone's outperformed Patrick Mahomes in every single category.
Really?
In his career.
Yeah, Zach Wilson looked really good, man. At least during this game, I'm hoping we can just see kind of a Justin Fields thing. I like both of these quarterbacks, but I just need to see consistency from them. But I think it also helped with Rodgers being at the stadium. I think just having that in-person mentor, just from a great, that's gonna help a lot. So I don't know. I'm excited for this Jets team in the future. I actually made a trade in fantasy, getting rid of Saquon and George Pickens just to acquire Garrett Wilson, but I also got it first. But so I got hope for this Jets team because I really think they have all the tools. But if Zach Wilson can play like this every week, they're gonna be a good team. But we'll just have to see, man.
Mm-hmm. Surprise another week.
Just real quick, Mahomes was trying to throw this game. I know that the refs, I don't have to say anything about that, but yeah, everybody will have their own opinions about those type of things. But in terms of actual football being played, Mahomes just had a really bad game.
Mm-hmm.
18 for 30, 203. He had 1 touchdown and then 2 interceptions.
Should have been 3.
And then, like you said, should have been 3. To get outdueled by Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson played great this game. This still wasn't even one of his better games that he's played in the NFL. But from, like you said, we weren't really watching this game actively, but from what I saw, he looked really confident. And if he's going to be able to build that confidence with just the talent that they have around them, I'm not bought into them being a playoff team, but I'm bought into them. They're going to put up a lot. They're going to be a tough team to beat. No matter who you are.
For sure.
But yeah, my one other note was just the Chiefs got bailed.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, finish this out, James.
Let's take it, James.
Okay, so
I feel like deja vu like me.
the Seahawks beat the Giants 24-3. Sadly, As a Giants fan, after this game, I'm done defending the team. I think Dom was kind of at that point last week with the Vikings, but I'm finally to that tipping point. This was a make it or break it game for us with our upcoming schedule. Real quick with Daniel Jones. Done defending you as well, bud. You showed me that not every sack you take is the offensive line's fault. Saquon Barkley, if you do not come back for the rest of the season because you don't want to play behind that O-line, I don't blame you. Go to another team and flourish, buddy, because I don't think this team can be good for at least another 5 years with our salary cap and the contracts we have unless we make some serious trades. It's just sad to be a Giants fan. I mean, we've been in rebuild for our offensive line for 13 years now. I mean, I think Eli Manning was getting flashbacks on the Manning cast. So I like zoned out watching this game. I just started editing pictures for the podcast. I was tired of it, man.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, like, you can't defend the Daniel Jones for all the sacks that he takes because he just holds the ball for too long. And that's why early in his career he did have a lot of fumbling issues because he would just hold on to the ball too long. I mean, it doesn't help when you have a bad offensive line, but, I mean, when you're not helping them when you don't get the ball out quick, and then you pair that with just, like, a pretty poor run game throughout the entirety of the game. I mean, also, the Giants' leading receiver this week was Matt Breida.
Mhm.
You know, I just feel like, I mean, that kind of says everything right there. And it's not like the Giants have bad receivers either. You know, you even said that they are pretty all average, but, I mean, average receivers should be better than your RB2
Yeah.
Yeah.
going for 50 yards.
One thing I'll just say real quick, man, is I'm not gonna touch too much about the Seahawks. I mean, they played a good game.
No, please talk about the Seahawks.
Um,
Just don't talk about the Giants anymore.
well,
I've covered it.
We saw
you
some Drew Lock snaps.
yeah, we did see
That
some
was-
Drew Lock
that was
snaps.
cool.
Talk about the Seahawks.
The
Riley.
Broncos are still feeling that trade with Drew Lock coming in, but I mean the Seahawks look good. There's really not much to say. I mean the Seahawks they're a really good offense and defensive team. Witherspoon looks great for them. Geno's still playing really good as a quarterback. Their receivers are all happy. They're getting the ball shared. DK looks great. I'm going to touch on the Giants, even though you're telling me not to. I think I made the decision about writing the Giants off, like, early, like, not necessarily this week. It was kind of like a little bit last week. I just didn't say it necessarily. That's kind of why I got rid of Saquon, just because of the future. I had too much to question. I'm not going to put all the blame on Daniel Jones. Yeah, he definitely has some mistakes, and the coaching and him and his coach just did not look good together. There was actually a video, I'm sure you guys all seen, of them arguing on the sidelines. That's not what you want to see between a coach and a quarterback, I'll tell you that right now. Daniel Jones didn't have the audacity to look at him, so that just kind of like, I don't know, man. I'm kind of with you, James. I feel bad. I think it's almost kind of like rebuild the ship for the Giants. I mean, when you have offensive linemen blocking other offensive linemen and not the defender, I mean, we got a real problem here. So, I don't know. We'll just have to see what the Giants do, man. But would you like to keep your main head coach if you had to move past this year? Or would you like maybe a different
Oh,
coach?
I'm still all in
On
Daboll.
Daboll.
Because I like Daboll. I really do.
He gets
I
the
mean-
boys to play.
I mean, that's the only person on our squad that I really care for right now.
Right.
I mean, even our best players aren't even showing up. I'm like, how many times did you hear Leonard Williams or Dexter Lawrence the other night? Like, they haven't been showing up all year. It's just sad. I don't even know what you do for this team. It's like, do you just, throw in the towel and try to get a quarterback in the draft? Like, I don't even know, because you still have
4 years.
you got another year of Daniel Jones and you have an option. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's sad.
Sad days, man.
I thought the Rams were in shambles. I wish I was the Rams.
All right, man. We're going to hop into our picks. Couple buys this week, so not as many games. We'll start off with the Bears and the Commanders on Thursday Night Football.
The
man.
Mandies.
Man, if this don't get Nate going, I don't know what does. Commanders are favored by 5.5. Give me the Commanders.
Give me the Mandies all day.
Give me the commies.
as much as you guys know, I've been riding these Bears against this defense and this defensive line. Give me the Commanders all day.
All right. The Jags are at the Bills, man. Give me the Bills. I think this could easily cover this 5.5 spread. But yeah, give me the Bills.
Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
I'm actually taking the Jaguars too. Real quick, the Jaguars are staying in London, and this game is in London, and I think that's a big factor in this game.
I didn't know that.
The one thing I will say though about it is this is some strategic shit from the Bills. So listen, the hotel that the Jaguars booked last week, the Bills booked it for this upcoming week. So all the Jags players had to move all their stuff to a completely new hotel.
Really?
Oh,
It's
so
just like I
kind
don't
of
know,
messed up.
just to be able to throw off a
Interesting.
team like that. That's next level right there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this game's going to be a good game. I'm really hoping the Jags offense shows back up. I'm going to take the Jags. I'm going to take the Jags. Especially only, honestly, this reason, because I think this team's going to be a really close game, is because of that London 2 weeks in a row. What's so good about Jacksonville, though? Why did they get 2 weeks in London?
They signed a
It's
contract.
about to
Oh,
be
did they
done.
actually?
And
I
their
didn't know that.
And their owner owns a soccer team.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's why they're playing? That's okay. That's kind of cool. But
Yeah,
yeah.
They play every year.
Really?
in London.
Okay, yeah. Well, give me the Jags this week for sure.
Texans are at the Falcons. Shoot. Give me the Texans, though, man. Falcons are in the same boat as the Panthers offense to me. So.
Yep, give me the Texans. I've been out on the Falcons offense. CJ Stroud's looking crazy right now.
Falcons have a good secondary. I'm kind of like iffy about like how that is, but CJ has been playing better teams. I'm gonna go with Texans here for sure. Ride the wave.
I'm actually going Falcons. I think that this Atlanta run game is great at home, and I want the Texans to win. I want to see Stroud do good, but I think there's going to be one of these weeks that you kind of see it downfall a little and come back to ground, and this could be one of those games with that secondary.
That's fair take.
Panthers are at the Lions. Give me the Lions.
No debate. Lions.
Lions.
Fine.
Okay, I was about to say. Titans are at the Colts. Good game here.
It's a pick 'em.
It is a
It
pick
is a
'em.
pick 'em. Yep.
Let me pick the Colts, man.
As much as I want to root against the Titans, I mean, give me the Titans.
I'm going Titans as well.
Going with the Colts. Anthony Richardson masterclass upcoming. We'll see how it
I can
goes.
see it.
The Giants are at the Dolphins. This line is minus
Damn, this
11.
one's a tough game. I'm not gonna lie.
Give me the Dolphins.
Give me the Dolphins. But real quick, do you think the Giants cover the spread?
Not a chance. If you were a better, take every person's over for the Dolphins and take everyone's under for the Giants.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I know the spread's minus 11, but I could see this being like a minus 17. I mean, you're having the most explosive offense against one of the probably down bad teams right now in the
Them
league.
and the Bears.
Dude, it's gonna be Dolphins by minus 17.
I'd give it minus 24 if I'm being honest.
Like,
Saints are at the Patriots. And this is a pick 'em to me as well, but it's 1.5 Patriots. Give me the Saints, man. I think they score over 20 this week and they get the ball rolling a little bit.
Assuming Derek Carr's a starter, give me the Patriots.
Hmm.
But if Jamie somehow beats the starter,
Oh my God.
I'm making a game time decision, Saints. But for now, we're going to Patriots.
I'm going to get Patriots at home here.
like
This is a pick 'em
This is
too,
actually
isn't
kind
it?
of
No, it's a 1.5
But they have
Patriots.
Saints. They have Patriots minus 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Saints.
Let's do it.
That's kind of. I could definitely see this Patriots stuff. I'm gonna go Saints.
Ravens are at the Steelers.
I'm gonna take the Ravens.
Ravens.
Yeah, Baltimore.
Ravens.
Surprised it's only minus 3.5.
Mm-hmm. Bengals are at the Cards. Here we go, baby.
Oh, this
Bengals
one's
minus
tough.
3. Bengals minus 3. I got the Bengals.
Nate's scared.
I am.
Rightfully so, though. Rightfully so.
All right. Just because of how much literally relies on this season, like if we lose to the Cardinals, I'm kind of in the same boat with you. I mentally give up on the season. I'll be in the boat of tanking for Marvin Lewis or Marvin Harrison. Give me the Bengals, but if you're a better, take James Conner's rushing yards, and I promise you that will hit.
You did tell me
10
that
out of
earlier,
10
and I
times.
agree. Do we even know if Joe Burrow's like questionable for this game? Like,
No, he's playing.
he is playing?
Yeah.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
I think
'cause
this is
the
a good
Cardinals are like that.
They're
like
the trap team.
They're almost like the Wizards. I feel like coming up for this NBA year. Like they're not going to be great, but they're going to come out these games and give you a hard time.
Screw the parlay.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel about them. But I'm going to go with the Bengals. Just hoping this offense can finally start clicking, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you are in the same boat as me, where we gotta grab on the little bit of hope that we have.
Bengals for me.
Just want to make more money.
Eagles are at the Rams. Give me the Eagles.
He really is a Commanders fan. He don't even like taking the Eagles here.
I told you.
Give me the Rammies.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I was kind of on the fence about this game too, but I think the Eagles defense does step it up and they obliterate Matthew Stafford in that O-line.
Mm-hmm.
Just based off experience in the league, I'm taking the previous Super Bowl contenders. I'm going to go with the championship contenders. We're going to take the Eagles.
All right.
Sorry, I'm tripping.
I think the over is free money in this game, though. I think
it could be
I
a
can
good
see this
scoring
game
game.
being like 30 or something like that. 31.
All right, the battle of the Wilsons, man. Jets are at the Broncos. Give me the Jets, man. Let's see it again, man. Zach Wilson 300 plus. Bet it.
The Broncos defense is terrible, but let Russ cook. Give me the Broncos.
Good grief, he's tanking.
I'm telling you right now, the Jets were winning this game. This is a lock. I'm telling you, give me Russell Wilson, and you're going to put him against that Jets defense. Even if the offense isn't as clicking, that defense is going to destroy the Broncos, I feel like.
Yeah.
And Zach Wilson's not going to be as bad, especially coming off playing the best quarterback. He had a great game. I'm taking the Jets all day here.
I don't know. I think Russell Wilson's better than everyone. He's playing a lot better than everyone's giving him credit for.
Oh, he definitely is.
And
Sauce is going to come
with
down.
that being said, I'm taking the Jets.
All right, so the Chiefs are at the Vikings. Man, I've been thinking about this game all week. I'm taking the
At
homer
Minnesota.
pick. I'm taking the homer pick, man. Give me the Vikings. I think the Chiefs snuck this one out, and I don't think they're gonna pay the refs enough this game, and I think we win.
With that being said, I'm taking the Chiefs.
Give me the Vikings. I think this is a game that
Whoa.
the over is also free.
Dang,
All right,
son.
don't take a betting advice from us.
No, please take betting advice from us.
I will also be taking the
Oh! I'm a Chiefs loner this week. Wow.
That's how I feel about the Bills, man.
Wow.
All
I
right.
think this is the game that gives the Vikings that push.
That
to-
momentum swing.
Yeah, kind of take back the division. I think they need it.
What happens if they lose this game? Does momentum just crush the rest of the season?
I don't even if they lose this game, I don't think the momentum's crushed at all.
I feel weird.
Since
being
that
a loner on the
division,
Chiefs.
yeah. I mean, we could be second. Yeah, I don't know.
This
I know.
is
It's crazy to bet against the Chiefs.
Yeah,
But-
it is. This is going to be the most exciting game to watch this year. Two master classes on defense. We're gonna start with this Cowboys versus 49ers at 49ers. I think this game's going to be so good. Like I cannot actually wait to watch this game. But with that being said, Prescott's going to fumble the bag. We're taking the 49ers. Brock Purdy's back, and Nate, I don't want to hear it because I know you agree now. Let's go.
Give me them boys, man. I don't even like them boys, but give me them.
I'm taking the Niners. As much as I hate to do that, they're the most well put together and just like playing the best football out of every team in the NFL right now. And with the Cowboys' red zone struggles, I mean, I don't think they're gonna keep up. I don't know what is the spread, -4?
-4 49ers.
I wouldn't take the spread, but I would definitely take Niners money line.
This was a hard game for me to pick because I honestly do think that, like with these undefeated teams, they're always going to run into another great team, and I think that's what the 49ers do here, but I just can't bet against CMC right now.
You
So,
can't.
So give me the 49ers.
Last game, man. Packers are at the Raiders.
Started off, Dom.
Is Garoppolo playing?
No,
O'Connell?
he's still
Yeah,
on,
I think
still
it
on
was O'Connell
concussion
again.
protocol.
Yeah, because
Aiden
we haven't
O'Connell.
seen since the Tua injury a guy come back. They usually wait 2 weeks now.
So it's
It's just
okay.
standard.
It's okay to make a game time.
Packers.
Give me go Pack go.
Romeo Dobbs masterclass. We're going the Packers.
I'll take the Raiders here.
Okay.
I don't actually, to be fairly honest, I don't hate the Raiders here. To be honest, I mean, Kano didn't play great, but he didn't look terrible last week, and I think Max Crosby is going to be a problem this game. I really do.
I like what the Raiders are doing. I mean, they're getting, the run established a little more. We're seeing the
Packers.
Josh Jacobs that we saw last year.
Mhm.
So,
In the Packers running defense, that's not bad.
All right, y'all. Bits and pieces of this podcast might be missing, but like I already mentioned in the beginning, this is a new setup for us. So be patient with us. But I'd say, give us over under 1 week. We're in there, man. Give me the over.
Over.
Lock it in.
1.5.
We'll be back, man, and just check us out on socials. Our picks are out every week, even in the previous week. So check us out, man. Peace.